Howdy everyone, it's Sam. Welcome to the Wobble Enjoy Sports channel. If you're new around here, hope I can get you to consider to like the content and subscribe to the channel. But if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. 1 year, we've all waited for International Rugby League to come back to our tellies. It happens this weekend in the first ever Pacific Championships. Both men and women will be representing their countries starting this Saturday afternoon. Let's get stuck straight into the tips and preview. Saturday at 5 p.m. from Queensland Country Bank Stadium, the Jillaroos host the Kiwi Ferns. There are no odds out for this game, but here are some of the stats. This will be the 27th meeting between the Jillaroos and the Kiwi Ferns, and the Kiwi Ferns lead the overall head-to-head with 16 victories to 10 losses. New Zealand last defeated Australia in 2016. Since that time, Australia have gone on to win 6 in a row. As a matter of fact, that's the last time the Jillaroos have lost a match, period. The Jillaroos have not lost a game since the year 2016. This will be Australia's 61st game. This will be New Zealand's 57th. From last year's Rugby League World Cup Women's Tournament, for the New Zealand side, they are a really younger looking squad. There's still obviously a lot of experience there, but there's a possible 12 debutants that could be hitting up this Saturday evening, whereas the Jillaroos are by and large untouched. Also, back on the Kiwi Ferns too, their captain of last year, Crystal Rota, retired about 3 weeks ago. So they've had to inject Racine McGregor as one of the co-captains for the Kiwi Ferns this Saturday evening. So let's go into the team list now. It has been announced approximately 20 minutes ago. At fullback and making her debut for the Jillaroos is Tamika Upton. So too, Jamie Chapman out there on the wing, and Julia Robinson is on the other wing. Surgis and Kelly are the centres, and Jessica Surgis has recovered from her finger operation. Taryn Aiken and Ali Brigginshaw are the halves pairing. The forward pack, Marto, Davis, and Jessica Elliston. The back row, Apps, Koenig, and Samaima Taufa. The interchange reads Tonagato, Johnston, Cherrington, Shaylee Bent, Lauren Brown, Mantelman, and Joseph. Those last three names, Brown, Mantelman, and Joseph, are the three reserves in. I'll tell you what, Lauren Brown, maybe a little bit hard done by there not to get a crack into the 1 to 17, just because her Rugby League World Cup last year was outstanding. Yeah, that's probably the only change. I'd probably say swap Brown for Tonagato, I'd suggest. But anyways, we move on. So the team list now for the Kiwi Ferns: at fullback, Appy Nichols is at fullback. Young Sharks sensation Anessa Biddle is on the wing, and Leanne Tafuga is the other winger. Shanice Parker and Mele Hofanga are the centres for the Kiwi Ferns. The halves pairing is Ash Quinlan and Racine McGregor. The forward pack is Maya Hill Moana, Angelina Tiakaranga Katoa, and Brooke Anderson in the front row. And the back row, Otessa Pule, Leishon Albert Jones, and Georgia Hale in the lock position. The interchange, Tyler Nathan Wong, Nevada George, Jasmine Fogafini, and Amelia Pasacala. The reserves are Abigail Roach, Shaylee Robbins-Retty, Tiana Davison, and Capri Payakal. Of course, I'm going to back and tip the Jillaroos to win this game. Just as an initial reaction from seeing the team list, actual team list there for the Kiwi Ferns, there's a little bit of there's a bit of ball playing in the forwards, I'd reckon, especially with that Leishon Albert Jones Newcastle Knights winning second rower. It's a decent forward pack. I do think that the Jillaroos have the exceptional backline to trounce the Kiwi Ferns this Saturday. Last time these two sides played was in that Rugby League World Cup final, and it was the Jillaroos that absolutely belted the Kiwi Ferns from pillar to post. And then a couple of weeks beforehand, the Jillaroos only just got away with a fractional win, or something like 10 points to 8 or so. But yeah, I'm excited for the Jillaroos to go around and win by 13 plus over the Kiwi Ferns. Kickoff at approximately 7:30 p.m. on Saturday night from Queensland Country Bank Stadium. We got the Kangaroos versus Samoa. It is the Rugby League World Cup grand final rematch. And on sportsbet.com.au, there are odds out for this game. Australia are at $1.07. Samoa are at $9 on Sportsbet. This will only be the fifth meeting between the two countries, and Australia are undefeated against Samoa. They are 4-0 versus the Samoans. For the Samoan changes based off of last year's Rugby League World Cup final, there's a truckload of them, and a couple or one of those players that played for Samoa are actually going to be playing for Australia in this game. So some of the changes: Joseph Suoli'i, Taylor May, Tim Laffey, Milford, Chanel Harris-Tavita, Jaden Sewer, Oregon Kofusi, Josh Papali'i, Martin Tapa'u, Kelma Tuolangi, and Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. They were all part of that squad, or they all represented the blue jersey last year in the Rugby League World Cup, and they're not playing. They have not even been selected in the squad for Samoa in these Pacific Championships. Whereas Australia, you look at a Josh Addo-Carr and Latrell Mitchell. You've also got Nathan Cleary and Angus Crichton, for example, from last year's Rugby League World Cup, or the last time that Australia even played in Rugby League. Those are some of the players that are missing. So a lot of change. It's also considering the head coach for Samoa in the men's is going to be Ben Gardner, who is a Penrith Panthers assistant coach. He wasn't there last year, so his fresh tenure into International Rugby League begins this weekend. But Mal Meninga, he's been around for a long time and he'll know what to do. So going into the team list now, all important team lists. James Tedesco is the captain and is at fullback. The wingers, debutants, both of them, Dylan Edwards and Selwyn Cobbo are the wingers for the Kangaroos this Saturday night. And Dylan Edwards did play on the wing all those years ago when he made his debut, when he played on the wing for a couple of years since. So I'm sure he'll do a fantastic job. I'm really happy to see Dylan Edwards get a Kangaroos jersey. Utterly deserved. The centres, another couple of debutants. We've got Katoni Staggs and Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. Hammer played for Samoa in last year's Rugby League World Cup. So I don't know. I guess it's kind of a shame that he didn't want to continue to play for Samoa, but he did always say that he wanted to represent the Kangaroos. And Katoni Staggs, he's actually a Tongan international from yesteryear, so he's donning the green and gold this weekend. The halves pairing, Munster and DCE. The forward pack, Haas, Ben Hunt, and Tino Fa'asuamaleaui. Cameron Murray, Martin, and Isaiah Yeo are the back row. The interchanges, Harry Grant, Collins, Patrick Carrigan, and Ruben Cotter, and Nico Hines has been named with jersey number 18 on his back. Switching gears into the Samoan team list now, and we've got the young Storm sensation, Sua La'ovii Whaelongo is at fullback. Murray Taulagi debuts for Samoa this Saturday, and Brian To'o is the other winger for Samoa. Isaac Tango and young Tonomapia are the centres for Samoa, and Stephen Crichton plays in the 5'8" position. Jerome Luai is succumbing to that troublesome shoulder injury that's given him absolute curry for the past 3 or so months now, and Dejan Arce is the halfback. The forward pack is Stefano Ikamanu, who makes his international debut. Junior Paulo, the captain, and Gordon Chan Kum Tong also makes his international debut this Saturday against the Kangaroos. For a rookie, that is a massive occasion for young Chan Kum Tong. The back row is an impressive back row for Samoa. I like it. It's Leilua Lemuelu and Keenan Palacia, and the interchange, a lot of power here. Spencer Leniu, Terrell May, Hylam Lukey, and young Ronald Volkman comes off the bench in jersey number 17. A little bit of diversity there. And then the reserves is Royce Hunt, Justin Matamua, Greg Mazu, and Tommy Talau on the reserves list for Samoa. This will be Australia's 954th match in history. Samoa, this will be their 91st match in International Rugby League. Kangaroos, go you good things, 13+. On Sunday, there are 2 matches, both emanating from Santos National Football Stadium in Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea. At 12:45, check your local listings for what time it actually kicks off in your state. At 12:45 Queensland time, we've got the Fetu Samoa versus the Fiji Bulikula. And there are no odds out for this contest, but this is the first ever meeting between the Fetu Samoa and Fiji Bulikula. And this will be Samoa's 15th ever match in Women's Rugby League, International Rugby League, and this will be just the 5th Women's International Rugby League game for Fiji. This will be Samoa's first game since 2020. They lost on that occasion. They have not won a game, the Fetu Samoa, since 2008, since the 2008 Rugby League World Cup that happened in Brisbane all those years ago. For Fiji, this is their first match in International Rugby League since 2019, and they've only got the one victory to show for it when they defeated Papua New Guinea at Leichhardt Oval. I think it was that year in 2019. Going into the team list now, and just as a quick glimpse, like I saw the squad announcement for Samoa, and I'm about to read off the official team list. That Samoan team list is pretty damn lethal. I really like the look of it. By the way, Jamie Soward is the head coach for Samoa. All right, so the fullback, Destiny Mino-Sinapati, Taylor Mapusua, and Lindsay Tui are the wingers for Samoa. Petessa Leo and Niall Williams-Guthrie are the centres, and Pauline Pillay-Rasabale and Sienna Lafipo are the halves pairing. The forward pack, Fiona Janke, Janelle Williams and Destiny Brill, the hooker, and also the Dally M hooker of the year in the NRLW. And the back row is Malala Sua, Angelina Hunt, and Aneta Claudia Nuasala is the lock for Samoa. Going into the interchange for Samoa is Berryman Duff, Tafio Asua, Tamara Leati, and Michaela Ellie, and 18th woman is Avery Rose Carmont. Shifting into the Bulikula now, at fullback is Cassie Staples, Cronulla Sharks NRLW young gun. The wingers are Anna Raduva and Asina Rokomo-Arama are the wingers, and then the centers, Adi Patricia Raikadroka and Vitalina Nakore. Nakore, NRLW Cowboys winger, and one of the best for us this year as well. Sienna Lang and Serena Nato Katoka are the halves pairing, and Nato Katoka has been playing well for the Cronulla Sharks in the NRLW this year as well. The forward pack, and we'll touch a little bit more on her now. Josephine Majors, she is playing this weekend at age 46. She is the captain of the Fiji Bulikula. And she made her international debut at the age of 36, and she's still going around promoting the game of rugby league in her home country as well, still keeping fit, willing to be called up, ready and willing to be called up at a moment's notice. So really keen to see how Josephine Majors goes this weekend, and she talks so beautifully as well, man. Tegan Lang is the hooker for Fiji, and Anastasia Shom Cottrell is the other forward for the Fiji Bulikula. Then the back row is Emma Rainima, Tali Holmes, Aliti Namoche, and then the interchange reads Seneva Saanga, Grace Wanka, Mere Kilawanka, and Marilisi Rocco Ono in jersey number 17. For Samoa, it is brand new. It's an absolutely brand new pack. But when you go into Fiji, when the last time that they played in 2019, there are 4 survivors from that game who has been named in this squad. For example, Tali Holmes has been named to play in this game, and Nato Katoka has been named to play in this game as well. So there are a few survivors from the 2019 game that was last played for Fiji. Really looking forward to see how this game goes, obviously. I really like Samoa. I really do like the look of Samoa, and I'm going to tip them 1-12 this weekend. And the second game, emanating from Papua New Guinea International Stadium, is Papua New Guinea, the Kumals, versus the Cook Islands, or as they're known on NRL.com, the Cooks. There are no odds out for this contest. This will be the 7th ever game between Papua New Guinea and Cook Islands, and Papua New Guinea are 6-0 against the Cook Islands. So they are definitely the bogey side for the Cook Islanders. Let's go straight into the team list news now. And Alex Johnston is the fullback for PNG. Robert Derby and Nene McDonald are the wingers for the Kummels. Zach Labart and Roderick Ty are the centres. Labart, Kyle Labart, and Lachlan Lamb are the halves pairing. And Lachlan Lamb has been noted to... he might be coming back to the NRL next year. Maybe he's definitely wanting to come back to Australia in 2024. So watch this space on Lachlan Lamb. The forward pack, Apel Kapinianis, Judah Rimbu, and Valentine Richard. And then the back row is Jacob Arlick, Dan Russell, and Jack DeBellin, who makes his Papua New Guinean debut this weekend. That's a strong, big back row for Papua New Guinea. Liam Horn, Nixon Putt, Junior Ropp, and Benji Cott are the interchange. And then 18th man is Cruz 10. But also just keep in mind that we've got Reese Martin, Wellington Albert, and Justin Olam on the reserves list there, ready and waiting to pop up. So that's a pretty decent, handy reserves list there for PNG. Going into the Cook Islands team now, and there are definitely players that played in that Rugby League World Cup that are playing in this game this weekend. So in at fullback, Esom Ioka, and the wingers are Malachi Morgan and Stephen Masters on the wing. In the centres, Kyle Iro, and then Isan Masters in the centres. Brad Takarangi and Tevin Arona are the halves pairing. The forward pack, Davey Mawali, Makahisi Makatoa, and Rua Natakora are the front rowers. The back row is Zane Tedavano, Ruben Porter, and Pride Peterson Robati. And the interchange reads William Samuel, Reese Dakin, Justin Makiri, and Kadie Ioka. And the interchange is Takai Makoha in jersey number 18 as well. That's, again, like the problem with Cook Islands is that they really disappointed in their Rugby League World Cup last year. They only got the one win, and that was against Wales, only just as well, by the way. And I really like their forward pack. I think that's a really decently sized forward pack. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this game for sure. I just think Papua New Guinea, they're just on the cusp of elevating themselves to a different level. I feel like, with the rumours of them being the 18th team, and there's more high profile, more skilled players that want to play for Papua New Guinea. I think they'll be a bit too much on home soil, and they'll continue to be undefeated against the Cook Islands this weekend in what will be their 163rd International Rugby League game. Yo, thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Pacific Championships, International Rugby League is back. I hope you enjoyed the preview. And catch me this weekend when I do live commentary with Hold the Ball on his channel for Australia versus Samoa. Check your local your local time for listings and whatnot. So thank you very much for the continued support. See you guys in the next episode. Go the Aussies.